What if I told you that many things you believed about Avatar are lies?
What?
From myths like Katara being able to do bloodbending without a full moon, or the idea that the next Avatar will have Asami's face, in this video I'm going to tell you 20 common lies and misconceptions about the franchise. Whether it's fan-made theories, continuity errors, or just little-known details, we're going to figure out what's true, what's a myth, and what still has no official explanation.
Yeah. Well, whenever you notice something like that, a wizard did it.
I see, all right, yes. But in episode AG4...
Wizard.
For Glaven out.
This is Appacomics. The Avatar inherits the face of their past life's true love. The theory says Roku shares facial features with Ranji, Kyoshi's love interest. Roku's wife looks a lot like Aang, who ended up with Katara. And Korra's face kinda resembles Katara too. So, is this real? Well, first off, this is 100% a fan theory. The creators never said it's canon. It sounded nice until Pavi showed up. Right now, all we have are coincidences. Nothing proves this pattern is real. If we really want to make it fit, maybe Asami wasn't Korra's one true love. Or maybe the key trait passed on is eye color. Asami does have green eyes. But honestly, for now, it's just a myth. To be a lava bender, one parent must be a firebender and the other an earthbender. Sounds logical, right? Because lava equals fire and earth. Well, not quite. Or at least, it's not confirmed. This fan theory comes from Bolin, who has parents from different nations, and from Sun, who is from the Earth Kingdom but has Fire Nation-style brown eyes. The truth, it's a stretch. According to some of the original Avatar, the last Airbender staff, lava bending was originally exclusive to the Avatar since it was considered a mix of two elements. It actually leaned more toward firebending than earthbending. But in the Legend of Korra, things changed. By the time we meet Sun at Thoth's Metal Bending Academy, lava bending had become a normal ability that non-avatars could use. Right now, there's no canon explanation. The theory isn't totally crazy, but it's definitely not confirmed either. So for now, we'll go with the classic answer: a wizard did it. Only fire and waterbenders get external power boosts. In this show, we're told firebenders grow stronger from Sozin's comet and the sun, while waterbenders are empowered by the moon. So the other elements do not have any booster? According to the Avatar Bible, the internal guide that explains how the world works, earthbenders get stronger near geological fault lines and during spring. Airbenders, on the other hand, are empowered during storms and get an extra boost during autumn. All airbenders are pacifists? No. In reality, air nomad monks are pacifists, but that doesn't mean all airbenders follow that path. Those raised with the beliefs and teachings of the temples might be peaceful, but there are plenty of airbenders who aren't pacifists at all. Just look at the new airbenders in Legend of Korra or Zahir, or Amihan, the airbender from Roku's novel, who literally launched frogs into the air and let them smash into the ground just to see how high she could make them fly. Was Kyoshi a ruthless warrior whose first solution to every problem was killing? Definitely not. Kyoshi could be tough, but she wasn't the ultra-powerful demon fans imagined. The show paints her as a fierce avatar, the one who killed Shin without regret because it was the right thing to do. But in the novels, we learn she was more just than bloodthirsty. Her focus wasn't random violence, it was justice. She punished the powerful who abused others. She didn't kill for fun or on impulse. In many cases, she actually tried to avoid it. This harsh image of Kyoshi stuck around because, for years, all we knew about her was that her first words were,
"I killed Chin the Conqueror."
Powerful enough to create an island, and she told Aang to go destroy Azai with zero regrets. That's all the fandom had to work with. But later on, we got to know her better, and turns out she was actually pretty shy and even got bullied. Did Korra actually lose her bending in Book 2? Well, kinda. During her fight with Hunalik, when Rava is ripped out of her, in theory, Korra should have lost all her bending except water, her native element. But if you watch the scene closely,
My booze don't need nobody.
Cosmic energy of the universe.
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
That's clearly airbending she's using with her feet to climb the Tree of Time. So we're left with 3 options. Tenzin suddenly mastered telepathic airbending. Korra kept airbending just like in Book 1, for some mysterious reason. Or, the most likely answer, a wizard did it.
Wizard.
Ah, for Clavin out.
Zuko is not the son of Ozai. In this Search comics, a huge part of the fandom got confused by this. Zuko isn't Ozai's son. Azula finds secret letters between Ursa and her old boyfriend, Ikam, and in one of them, it says Ikam is Zuko's real father. Which would mean he has no right to the Fire Lord throne. So, is it true? Well, yes, but actually, no. The letter is real and it does say that, but it was all part of Ursa's plan to find out if Ozai was secretly reading her messages. He totally was, and when he read that part, he was furious. So yeah, mission accomplished. So is Ikam Zuko's real dad? Nope, this whole thing was just bait for Ozai. Earthbenders can't bend unless they're touching the ground. Myth! We actually see Korra do earthbending without touching the ground several times in Book 1 of Legend of Korra. She's mid-air and still bending just fine. Even Aang, during his fight with Ozai in the Avatar state, is able to bend Earth while flying. Chi blocking suddenly became a common skill out of nowhere in Legend of Korra. During Aang's time, only one character knew Chi blocking, but in Korra, even random people do it. Did this art just explode overnight?
Wizard.
The answer is no. In the comics, Suki and the Kyoshi warriors teach Chi blocking to ordinary people in the future Republic City, long ago. Even in Roku's era, Sozin's sister Zai-san had already learned this secret art. By Aang's time, in the Southern Water Tribe, Chi blocking was spreading. So it didn't appear out of nowhere, it gradually spread. In Republic City, it became so popular it seems illegal. The Special Forces raided an underground gem where it was taught. Suyin is Sokka's daughter. Another fan invention is that Cyan is the child of Toph and Sokka. Why? Her skin tone is different from Lin's and closer to Water Tribe colors. Plus, Badr Jr. has facial features that kinda resemble adult Sokka, and we never learned who her father is. But here's the thing, it's never been confirmed. The creators never mentioned it, and while it's technically possible, it feels way more like fan shipping than actual story. So for now, and until proven otherwise, this one's a myth. Blue fire is hotter and stronger than regular fire. For years, fans debated whether Azula's blue flames were actually more powerful or just a visual contrast to her brother, especially during the final battle. Up until a few months ago, this was considered a myth. But that changed with the Reckoning of Roku, where the theory was partially confirmed. In that novel, both Sozin and Roku enter a spiritual cave that boosts their power, like a mini Avatar state. And when they do, their fire turns blue and white. So yes, Azula's flames are superior, and now, we can officially call this one true. Iroh was always a saint, myth. The truth is, Iroh wasn't the wise and kind old man we know, at least not until after Lu Ten's death. You could argue he was just doing his duty as a general, but we literally see him joke about destroying an entire city. In the Legacy of the Fire Nation, Iroh admits he once wanted to become Fire Lord, and how much he craved power. He also says, more than once, that he's not proud of who he used to be. Katara, like Amon and Yakon, can bloodbend without a full moon. Some fans say that in the Southern Raiders, Katara uses bloodbending even though there's no full moon, just like the villains in Korra's Book 1. But the truth is, this is a myth. In that same episode, as they fly off searching for the Raiders, we get a clear shot of a huge full moon in the sky. Ozai is not a powerful firebender. Many people say Ozai wasn't as strong as the final boss of the series should have been, easily outclassed by Iroh, Zuko, Azula, or even Yang Yang. And while Ozai isn't an amazing character overall, as a firebender, he absolutely is. In Avatar Extras, Joshua Hamilton, part of the Avatar staff and writer of several episodes, said Ozai is literally the most powerful firebender in the world. And we can see it without any power-up, The guy shoots to lightning bolts in seconds, without the long prep other benders need. Even Iroh says he's not sure he can beat him. So yes, this is a myth. Korg was a womanizer and a terrible avatar. That is true, at least according to the people of his time. But the truth is, this is a myth. Even though Korg seemed like a careless womanizer in the physical world, he was secretly fighting dark spirits to protect the world and fix his predecessor's mistakes. That constant battle made him neglect his regular avatar duties and slowly corrupted him, leading to his early death at age 33. Yang Chen was a peaceful and wise airbender avatar. Myth: despite being an air nomad and wise, Yang Chen was more ruthless than Kyoshi herself. We talked earlier about how Kyoshi's perception is somewhat distorted, and something similar happens with Yang Chen. As calm as she seems, Yang Chen was extremely cold in her strategies, often using intimidation or blackmail to achieve her goals, being ultra-powerful and willing to kill if necessary. She was probably darker than Kyoshi in many ways. Sozin became a father at 82. Azulin was born in 0 AG, the year of the genocide, which means Sozin had his son at age 82. Is this true? Well, let's just say a wizard did it. Avatar has and still has timeline problems and calculation errors. The same happened with Kyoshi, who had to explain she learned a technique to extend her life from one of her masters. It also happened with Ko the Face Stealer, who says his last encounter was several hundred years ago. In the Spanish translation, they also messed up by saying it was 8 or 9 years ago. So in the end, yes, it's true that Sozin became a father at 82. But in reality, it was just a timeline error. Iroh invented lightning redirection? Not really, or at least he wasn't the first. In Roku's novel, Sozin finds scrolls in Winshin Tong's library showing that this technique was invented a long time ago. That's why I call this a half-truth, because as many of you commented, yes, it's possible that Iroh rediscovered it or reinvented it. He didn't know it already existed and believed he was the first to do it. At least, that's what we think we know. So the correct statement is, he was not the first, but as far as I'm concerned, he did not invent it. Ty Lee is a descendant of air nomads, just like the theory that Sokka is Suyin's father. Based only on skin tone and a close friendship, fans also believe Ty Lee has airbender ancestry because of her eye color and acrobatic moves. Well, just like the other theory, this is simply a theory. There's no real evidence confirming it, so we can call it a myth. Though honestly, it doesn't sound too far-fetched. Back in Roku's time, the air and fire nations weren't so distant. Even Sozin's sister Zazen interacted with air nomads like Ryoshin and Kondro. So no, it's not impossible that Ty Lee has air nomad ancestry. But for now, we've got no confirmation. Bosco is the only non-hybrid animal. Myth. At the very least, we've seen Bosco, a regular bear, Miyuki, a cat, and dragons, which aren't hybrids of anything. Plus, we've seen butterflies, fireflies, and hermit crabs, all of which, at least at first glance, don't seem to be hybrids either. Did technology in Korra advance way to fast out of nowhere? Myth. Even though the Avatar world feels ancient, technology was always pretty advanced. In The Last Airbender, we already had mega machines like the Fire Nation drill, airships, engines, elevators, and even a truck. Plus, large-scale wars tend to accelerate technological progress in real history. So with several decades of peace and growth between both shows, the evolution we see in The Legend of Korra is not exaggerated at all. The Dai Li are metal benders? Myth. It might look that way since they use chains, but what they're really bending are stone hands, which happen to be connected to chains. So no, during Avatar The Last Airbender, the only metal bender is Toph. There are probably tons of other myths and unanswered stuff left to explore, both in Aang's story and Korra's. So if you'd like to see more of this, let me know in the comments. If this video does well and you guys want it, we'll do a part 2. For now, if you still don't know what happened after The Last Airbender ended, I'll leave you this video right here. See you soon with more content.